there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil. So today is another JMC Design day. We don't have a new release for you, although this image is a new one. She was in Kit and Clowder as an offer last month, but I will add her to the store. And what we're doing today is all the teams are just using some of their favourite images. They're going to create something with it, and we are offering you a payday deal. So the discount code for that will be in the description box below. So if you would like 25% discount off any of the images that I have in the shop, feel free to check that out. So today I'm going to be working with Marcel. I coloured her up for when we had the promotion in Kit and Clowder, and I've sort of coloured her up in those red tones. And when I did the video, the last video that went up about the 10 crafty questions, I talked about how red was my favourite colour, but I very rarely use it in my crafting for some bizarre reason. So when I saw her, I thought, let's craft with her. Now what I've got is I've got a leftover packaging there from some adhesive gems, I think it was, and I'm going to turn it into a tag. I quite like this flap. I'm not quite sure how we're going to incorporate that, but I will. And I'm just swiveling my chair. There we go. I have pulled some papers out of this paper pad here. So this is Mix and Match Magic Moments. It was from the Works for £3, and the reason I picked this up was it looked really sort of mixed media ish, and I just thought that was quite fun. So I've pulled out a couple of sheets in the sort of same colour tones that I have coloured Marcel in, and I will get going. Now this is quite flimsy, so I'm hoping that by layering the papers on, that we will just thicken that up. And what I will maybe do as well is I will strengthen it. Thicken up, it's not a very good word, is it? That's quite bad English there. My husband's granddad would be shocked at that. He liked us to use proper English. So I'm just going to lay the paper on there, and I might just do the reverse while I'm at it, and then hopefully, as I said, this is quite a heavy, you can hear that, quite a heavyweight cardstock, so I'm hoping that the fact that we've got a few layers on, this will be nice and strong. I'm still sniffing away, so if that is really irritating for you, I am really sorry. I feel so much better. When I had the cold, I had like 2 or 3 days where it didn't sound too bad at all, but boy did I feel ill. Honestly thought I was going to faint at every moment. And now it's like I feel absolutely fine, but I just seem to have an unending runny nose. Not very pleasant for you to hear, sorry about that. But so I do apologise in advance for sniffing. Okay, as I said, I kind of want to include this flap, but I don't really know what I'm doing with it at the minute. So whether it will stay on there when we finish the project, who knows. But let's just cover it and decorate it now, and we will see what happens. So let's stick that down. Oops. So I have absolutely, as usual, I have absolutely no idea in my head of what I am creating today. So there you go. Sometimes I think I really must do, when I first started the channel, I sort of had a picture of a finished card available, and then I showed you how to make it, and I was thinking I really must do some of those videos again. I mean, I think these wing it ones are quite nice, and I know I like watching other people's wing it ones, because you kind of see their thought process, and I quite like that. But I'm thinking that maybe I should do a bit more of a variety. Now I'm liking this paper because it's got the sort of, I've coloured, see I'm trying to go with the colours that I've got in the dress. I have got those sort of yellows, the oranges, and then that sort of magenta and red. So I'm just going to tear the edge of that and pop that down there. I'm thinking that'll go quite nicely with the colours, and then I think maybe we'll cut her out and decide then what we are going to do with her. So I will put some glue along the top, because that's where I know it is, and down the side, and I'm not too bothered if we don't have it all stuck to the edges, because it means it's available then for me to tuck things behind. So let's do that. Oops. There we go. around here as well. Okay. So I always tend to stick it down like this and then turn around and chop round. I always find it really hard to measure and then for it to look right. So I did hear, I think it's Nikki from Polka Doodles, when she was on the telly box, she talked about the fact that I think there's like a 3mm discrepancy, because she used to work in a place that manufactured posh papers and stuff like that. So yeah, so it is pretty much impossible to try and get it absolutely straight. Now there, I've not kind of glued that in properly, and there's a kind of edge there that will irritate me, but that's where I sort of bring all my mixed media skills in and try and, you know, I'll probably ink around the edges or something to make all that work. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll start doing this on camera because when I fussy cut, I use the back part of my scissors there. Okay, I'm not cutting from the tip. That's when you start jaggedy. It's a lot smoother if you do it from there. And also I am just doing a sort of chopping motion with my scissors. I am not turning my scissors at all. I am turning my paper. And I tend to find if you do it like that, you get a much smoother. So the thing is, if I was to snip at the front, it's like, it's a much more jaggy line, whereas if you do let it go back and then go forward, you end up with a much smoother line. Which is why, as I said, when I am fussy cutting, I make sure that I am starting right from the back. Now for there, that is going around that corner is going to be a bit awkward, so I'm chopping to give myself a bit more room, and now I will go in. Right, let's talk. I'm trying to rush and talk, so I'm kind of forgetting what I normally do. Right, so I'm far back in my scissors, and now I will just, so you swirl it round. So you tend to find that even images that you might, because I do appreciate mine seem a little bit difficult to cut out, especially when I've got all these sort of swirly bob things going on. I know our lovely Emma Blake, she's joined the team and she does the most amazing mixed media things. She shares quite a lot of them on the Junk Journal and Mixed Media group, but I quite often notice that she's cutting off these extra bits, so if you want to do that, feel free, because it still looks really good. But I am going to cut the rest of that off camera because yeah, I don't want it to get too boring for you. Okay, so I have cut out Marcel, and I have put a layer of clear gesso over that, so I've got a bit of a tooth now, just because I was thinking I'd play with mixed media, and then I suddenly remembered I have all of these things from K & Co. I must have bought these, oh, I don't know, I'm guessing about 15 years ago. This was when craft was sort of sold on the television. Well, it's sold on the television now. QVC was the only place that you could get it, and I'm thinking the colours go really well, so I am just wondering whether just to go to town and place a whole load of these on it just for texture and interest, because like they've been sat in my stash for 15 years. Oh, actually, maybe we could put that on the flap. That might make that a bit more interesting. Yeah, let's just go for it. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. But look, like everything's gone yellow at the back. They don't even stick to the adhesive sheet anymore. So yeah, these are definitely needing used. And I thought, yeah, this is going to quickly and easily give it lots of dimension, and I'm going to feel good because I'll have done a bit of stash busting as well. So I am just going to go to town and stick all of this down. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but let's just go for it. Because I'm thinking that it's going to go quite well with her. And I like this one, so I kind of, maybe this one should be a feature. I'm not as overly, I'm not really keen on that. Oops, let's take that off. Right. Yeah, that's quite good actually. I might put a bit of foam on that as well. And then what I might do is get some gesso and knock all of that back a little bit. This is mad. I've never made anything like this in my life. We could be making this, or we could be suddenly recording a new video. Let's hope not, because this should be uploaded tomorrow. All my girls are like in the team going, yeah, is it 4 o'clock? Oh yeah, it's all uploaded and ready. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you're all doing better than I am. I'm still playing. Okay. That's something or other. Right, I'm just thinking, if I zoom out a bit, hang on. Okay, I've just zoomed out so I can try and show you the whole project a bit better. I like this along there, and then I'm thinking that'll grind her a little bit. She's going to end up popping under there a bit, but that's okay. Unless we have her this side. Okay. Okay. That would work better maybe. What do we think? Yeah, I'm not going to overthink. I am not going to overthink. Let's just see where this takes us, because right now it's the strangest thing I think I've ever made in my life. I think I'm going to have to replace my glue. It's getting, I mean, it's always been a bit dodgy, hasn't it? But it's getting so that it's actually running out as well. I'm going to chop down this bit here. Whoop. Connection to the camera's lost. Let's hope that we're still recording. Okay, my camera did a weird thing there, so whilst it was off, I have that little book of elements. I have just pulled all the parts out of that, and I'm just going to randomly stick some of these things on, and then I've put them all out, and then I'm thinking that I'll put the rest in my bit box. I'm going to pull that. So I'm going to cover that bird, so let's pull that gem off, and then we can use that elsewhere. Oops. Pop that, I'm going to tuck that behind there, and then I'll put my gem back. There we go. Sorted. Yeah, so if you have embellishments that are, I think this is the thing that I have learnt, because years ago when I bought these, I saw them as they were. Whereas right now, this is a big, well, it's not a hot mess actually, I'm quite liking the colours, but like I will end up sort of knocking it back a little bit, and then adding some, you know, like blending it together a little bit so it kind of works. Things I love about you. Put that there. And then, yeah, so what I'll do is, as I said, I'll end up knocking some of this back with the gesso, and we'll tie the colours together a little bit, and hopefully it'll look less mad. But, well, I've always known I was a bit crazy. Right, let's see. I think we can probably build some bits up here as well. And then we can work out what we're doing, because at the minute it's a bit heavy this side. So I want to build this little bit up a bit. Well, as I said, I feel good that I'm actually doing some stash busting. That's quite good. And maybe wait till the end. That might. Well, when I started this project, there couldn't have been anything further from my mind. I mean, I didn't have a plan, but yeah, it's quite incredible how how this has ended up working. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for those bits there. Okay. Actually, I want to knock it back with gesso, but I also am actually loving the whole crazy mishmash of colour. It feels very sort of, I don't know, Bollywood or something. It's just awesome. Like the new Aladdin film. Very bright and vibrant and happy. Okay, pop that out. I might be able to pop a bit of ribbon in this bit. Just to have my stapler up here. Tie a little ribbon in there. What's that doing now? Well, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm just imagining people watching this and getting loads of people leave my channel thinking, what on earth does she actually think she knows what she's doing? Oh dear, this is madness, utter madness. Okay, right, no, I don't want that ribbon. Take that off now, that's annoying me. I might put some on later with staples or something, but that's not working for me at the minute. Oh, let's just pull that off like that, that's fine. I'll find something to cover that. Right. I've got some love hearts, so put a love heart on it. There we go. Right, I think I'm going to stop embellishing there. Okay, I can't even see my girl now. Right, what I'm going to do, let's get some clear gesso on this. And yeah, we can do a bit of something or other. Tie all of this together just a little bit, and as I said, I'm just adding the clear gesso because it will add a little bit of tooth, and then we can maybe add just a little bit of some sort of colour of some medium or other, which will just sort of blend it all together so that it looks like one. It looks like it's all meant to be, rather than just the bunch of randomness that it currently is. Okay. And then we'll pop a bit down there. I'm actually quite liking how this flap has turned out. I have no idea of the purpose of it, but you know, I'm having fun. That is the purpose of it, isn't it? It's like, if this turns out to be a complete mess, then what? Do you know what I mean? It's paper, packaging and stuff that has been sat in my stash for probably about 15 years, and I actually think it's quite funky. Right, I will let that dry and I will be back. Okay, it's kind of it's a little bit drier. So now I am going to take a smaller brush, and I have got some of the lovely 13 Arch Gesso. This is my favourite thing in the world that I have discovered through my lovely Dawn, and she kindly gifted me some. So thrilled with it. Now, I'm actually, despite how crazy this is, quite liking it. So I don't know that I want to be knocking too much of this back. So I'm going to put a little bit between bits and pieces, just as I said, to make it that bit more cohesive, and to knock it back a little bit. But I don't want to overdo it. So that's actually quite good, because I'm getting the contrast now between the colours are looking a bit brighter because we've got that white, just as I said, knocking it back slightly. Yeah, I'm quite liking that. Now, what I'm thinking, I really don't want too much. I really don't want to overdo it, because I am loving how it's looking. But yeah, I think just having those few splashes has just sort of tied that together a little bit. Now, the only thing about her now is that she's a little bit lost. So, I am going to put a little bit of white around where she will be sitting, just so that she will stand out a little bit. Because right now, she's just going to disappear. So, as lovely as all this colourful stuff is, I'm going to have to get rid of some of it, because it's so busy that she is just lost, and after all she is my feature piece, so I want my feature piece to stand out, so this is why I am doing that. So I am really knocking that right back and making that very white. Okay, so let's see, has it come out far enough? Yeah, see, now she stands out so much better. I'm actually going to have to bring this up a little bit further. But it's funny because now we sort of see it all tying together. And the thing is, people say, oh, what was the point? I can still see the patterns. It's still, like, yeah, they've been knocked back and they're a bit white now, but you can actually still see the patterns through it. And so there is that sort of cohesion between it all. Right, I am liking that. But it's also still there. It gives lots of interest that you start looking and you see layer upon layer upon layer. Now, this edge is now turned out just to be a little bit too harsh for me, so I am going to get some water. I craft in the loft, so I'm nowhere near a tap, so I tend to have bottles of water sitting around so that I can just have access to it without having to run up and down the ladder so much. Although I'm having to try, and I don't like to call it a diet because that's, you know, I don't like the word diet. Having to try and make healthier choices because I have given myself a little bit of a shock when I got on the scales. I'm now wearing the Fitbit again, which you might have noticed on the video. So yeah, running up and down the stairs might actually be a good thing, so maybe I should leave my water down there. Now what I've done here is I'm just taking some water and I am just kind of pulling away some of that gesso, so we've still got the whiteness, but we've got a bit of a softer edge, because I only really want it that dark behind her. Sorry, that dark, that sounds terrible when you talk about white. I only want it that bright or that solid, that opaque. Opaque, that's a good word. I only want it that opaque right behind her. And the line was just a bit too definite. So, as I said, it's still there, we've still got the whiteness, but I'm just softening that edge. And actually it's quite good because now I can see my sentiment a bit better there, so I just think that's a bit more blended out. Actually, if we bring it right over, then we've created quite a soft edge there. Okay. This is absolutely crazy and I'm loving it. Okay, right, I have got my sparsed, it's a strange word, spiced even. That was me trying to say spiced and marmalade together. I have got my spiced marmalade, and ooh, that's a bit heavier than I wanted. And I'm going to come in and thingy some of those edges and bring that in a little bit. And one of the other reasons I wanted to do, look at the state of my map. One of the other reasons I want to do that is because I've got this bit here that, as I said, I didn't, wasn't overly even. So I'm going to do that. Oops. Okay. Right. I've got a little bit of ripe persimmon, just the normal distress ink, so I might just put that on a few of the corners just to brighten some of those up a little bit. Okay. Now, I probably should have done this before I stuck her down. Let's see. There we go. Right. Okay, yep. Let's see if we can get a bit in here as well. Okay. Yep, okay, right, I am just... Oh, no, that is not my water. I was about to spray that to clean my thing. That would have been disastrous. Right, this is what I would do. I am constantly going on about mop-up journals and things like that. I made myself some journals, which I will just go and grab. This is a journal that I made for the class that I was taking in Hobbycraft. And, you know, everyone was like, what do you use it for? And I'm like, it's for playing, it's for mopping stuff up, it's for not having to think about how it turns out. So this is literally what I would do with my products. And normally I would, as I said, have 2 or 3 of those going. at the same time, and then as things like that happen, I mop it up. Right, so it's looking good. Well, in my head, I think it's the craziest thing I've ever seen, but you know, I think we all know my head's crazy. I think, judging by my images, my head's crazy. Right, I am going to now do some shadowing because just to emphasise some of the bits, because they can get a bit lost. So I do find it makes a difference. I am using my Inktense pencils, and I have Crimson, which is 0530, and I have Tangerine, which is 0300, and I am just going to emphasise some of these edges. So what I will do is I will pop you on fast forward while I'm doing this, because I do think it's an important step. I think it makes such a difference to the project, but it can also be a bit time consuming. So I'll pop you on fast forward and I'll be back for the next bit. Okay, so I think we're getting there. Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be me without a black edging, so let's give it that edge, because it's just feeling like it's needing something. As I said, when black... Oh, I can tell I've just run up the ladder again. This is another reason why I need to be healthy. I need to be able to stop saying, oh, I've just come out up the ladder, that's why I'm out of breath. It's like I start filming, it's like, oh, can't talk. Right, yeah, so black colours recede to the background, making the brighter ones come forward. Also, when something is framed, it automatically pulls your eye into the centre, which is why I personally tend to give everything a black edge. So I feel this project has needed it, especially as it's a whole heap of crazy. There's loads to look at, so we really need the eye to be pulled in. So we will do that now. I've missed a few edges, so I'll have to get that with a different nib in a little bit. So it's also going to disguise that bit of dodgy cut work there. And we will just go round and do that. Oops. Okay. Right. So I will need to get a scrap of paper, and what I will just go and do now is I will go in with the fine nib and get all those details that I couldn't quite get because I can't get my chisel nib behind it. Oops, so just for continuity. Now I've done it a bit thick there, that's fine. You know, it's a mixed media project, it's not going to be perfect. I think we'll get away with it just fine, okay? I personally feel that's drawn the eye back in. I hope you feel the same. Right, I'll do a bit of doodling as well. So I'm going to, just doodle a few lines around the edges here. Again, like just giving it a bit more of a frame. I'm thinking that I might need to use my Jane Davenport pen there because it's just, that one's too fine. I am admiring her new set of pens that comes with all different nib sizes. I really, really want them, but I can't spend money at the minute because, well, I'm going to be spending lots of money making stuff for you guys. So I'm having to be good for the moment, but we'll just, yeah, because I think one of her pens like this in a finer nib would just be like, make me very happy. I was watching Leonie Pujol use them on the telly box the other day and I was like, oh yes, I need them. So I'm sure at some point they will accidentally fall into my basket. Right, okay, that is that. Now, Oh my goodness. It's like a spring-loaded pen nib. Very strange. This little butterfly is annoying me, so I'm going to pull it off. Don't like it. But I have these just to the side, so I was thinking I might put a couple of these down because they're totally the right colours. So we could have a little play with some of these. Let's see. Or do I just want one? Decisions. Let me see. Oh, I had that butterfly as well, didn't I? I'm faffing. Honestly, I'm just down to the final part. You'd think that we're just good to go now. Oh, sorry. This is such a long project. I'm really struggling keeping it on the screen. Put it at an angle. There we go. Oh, I don't know. Is that too heavy now? Yeah, I think maybe I'll just stick with those two for the minute, and then we will maybe dry brush some of that with some white gesso, and then I think some black splatters, and we should be pretty much there. Okay, so those are flowers from Little Birdie, which I picked up in the range. Okay. So I'm just going to, so this isn't the same as when I was whiting it out. This is going to bring out the texture. So I've put a little bit in my lid and I'm knocking most of it off. When I dry gesso, I am holding the paintbrush at the end. When you do that, that's when it tends to be too heavy. So I want it nice and loose. So I'm holding my paintbrush at the end and very quickly flicking. And what that will tend to do is catch the edges of the textured elements. So I'm going to do that all over. So on here it'll catch some of these. I don't want it too heavy because I don't want it to take away and look sort of clogged, but it'll just bring out some of those textured elements, and I especially wanted it on those flowers. And I'm feeling like I really need to sniff again. This cold is absolutely driving me insane. Okay, right. I'm happy with that, and now let's see what are we going to cover up. So I think I want to cover up that sentiment, and probably this sentiment, and let me have a little look what we've got. I think that thin sentiment as well I want to preserve. I'll put that there, and then obviously I want to protect, especially Marcel's face, so I want to protect her a little bit. So we'll do that. Okay, and then let's get some black splashes going. So I am using my Delusions, my Delusions ink spray, but I'm just using the end of it there just to add some black splashes. Some down the bottom as well. I don't seem to have any at the bottom of the project. Okay, right. So, if we take this off, I think that should be us. Awesome. I'm just going to clear my desk so you can actually see it a little bit better. Okay, that's me almost finished, but I've decided this sentiment is looking a little bit lost and one of the sentiments needs highlighted. So I'm just going to draw with my Dane Davenport pen around this one a little bit, just so that we see it. I just think that will emphasise it a little bit better. Thank you so much if you've stayed watching with me. I do think this is one of the craziest things that I have ever made. I hope you like it. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing. Have a wee look at the description box below. You'll find your discount code, a link to the shop, and also a link to all my fabulous girls who will give you lots more inspiration. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will be back with you very soon. Take care then, and goodbye.